Have you ever felt like there's something bigger inside you? Something powerful waiting to burst out, yet for some reason you keep holding back. You're ambitious, no doubt about that, but laziness seems to be your constant companion. And it's frustrating, isn't it? You know you're capable of so much more. But there's always that voice in your head telling you to wait for the right time, or that it's okay to just take it easy today. But you also know that tomorrow never seems to come, and the longer you wait, the further you drift from what you truly want. You're stuck in a battle between your ambition and your laziness, and it feels like you're losing. We've all been there. You wake up with big dreams, with that hunger for success burning inside of you. But then, slowly, you find yourself slipping back into your comfort zone. You rationalize that just a little more rest won't hurt, or that you'll get to it later. But time slips away, and before you know it, the day has passed without you taking a single step toward your goals. The cycle repeats itself. It's easy to let this spiral pull you under, to fall into the trap of thinking that your dreams are too far out of reach, or that you're just not cut out for the work it takes. But here's the truth that you need to hear. It's not a matter of whether you can achieve your dreams. It's about whether you're willing to fight the part of you that's holding you back. Ambition is not the problem. Your drive, your hunger to do more, to be more, that's what fuels the fire. The real issue is laziness and how it creeps in when you're not paying attention. It's subtle at first. You don't realize how much it eats away at your willpower until you wake up one day and realize that you've been drifting through life waiting for motivation to just show up. What if I told you that the key to overcoming this battle wasn't about forcing yourself to grind 24/7, but about understanding the psychological forces that are keeping you stuck? The key to overcoming laziness is not to fight it head on with brute force, but to understand it, to shift your mindset and approach it in a way that gives you more control. Right now, you may feel like you're stuck in quicksand, but there's a way out, a way to break free from the internal conflict that keeps you on the edge of greatness, just out of reach. The truth is, your brain is wired to seek comfort. It's easier to rest than to work, easier to indulge than to push forward. This isn't a flaw, it's biology. Our brains are designed to conserve energy, to avoid discomfort. But ambition is the force that calls you to break free from this cycle. It's the voice inside that pushes you to grow, to reach for more than what you've settled for. The problem is, ambition alone isn't enough. If it were, we'd all be living the life of our dreams. The missing piece is action, but not just any action-focused, intentional steps that align with your deepest desire. And that's where laziness comes in. Laziness thrives on your confusion. It flourishes when you don't have a clear plan or purpose. The more unclear your goals are, the easier it becomes to talk yourself out of doing anything at all. Laziness is nothing more than misdirected energy. It's not a lack of motivation, but a lack of clarity. It's not that you're lazy. It's that you've let your ambition get buried under layers of fear, uncertainty, and distraction. Right now, in this very moment, you have the power to change that. But it requires you to face one uncomfortable truth. The way to overcome laziness is by acknowledging it for what it is. It's not a character flaw. It's not a permanent state. It's simply a response to a lack of direction. And you can change that. You can give yourself the clarity you need to take action. You can rewrite the story that's been keeping you stuck. And in doing so, you'll start to break the cycle that has been holding you back. Imagine what your life could look like if you started today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. If you took just one step toward that goal, however small, you would be on your way. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to start. Because once you begin, once you break the inertia, your ambition will start to drive you forward. The fear, the uncertainty, the laziness, they'll still be there. But they'll no longer control you. You'll learn to use them, to recognize them for what they are, and to push through them with the power of your own determination. So let me ask you again, what's holding you back? Is it really laziness? Or is it the fear of taking that first step? Don't let that fear keep you from the life you're meant to live. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment, because that moment is right now. The battle between ambition and laziness isn't as much about winning. It's about making the decision to fight. And you have the power to make that decision today. It's time to stop waiting for motivation to magically appear. The truth is, motivation isn't something that shows up on command. It's not something you can summon when you need it the most. Motivation is a byproduct of action. When you take even the smallest step toward your goals, that's when the spark of motivation ignites. It's like a fire that starts with a single match. At first, it's barely a flicker. But once you give it more oxygen, once you start taking more action, it grows, it builds, and suddenly you find yourself filled with the energy you thought you lacked. This is where the power of small steps comes in. You don't need to overhaul your life in one grand move. You don't need to quit everything you're doing and dive headfirst into a new routine. No. All you need to do is take one small, consistent step each day. One tiny action that gets you closer to your dream. That's it. And here's why that works. It's because your brain responds to progress, even the smallest progress. When you make progress, no matter how tiny, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical that makes you feel good, that keeps you going. It's the same feeling you get when you achieve something, when you check something off your to-do list. You might not notice it right away, but each small step fuels you. It makes you feel like you're on the right path. The more you take, the more momentum you build. It's not about massive breakthroughs. It's about consistent, small wins that compound over time. You've probably heard the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, neither are your dreams. But every single brick you lay down, every action you take is part of the foundation of the life you want to build. It's about building habits that support your ambition, not waiting for some magical moment to arrive. The path to success is paved with small, seemingly insignificant decisions. The difference between those who make it and those who don't lies in their willingness to take those small steps when it feels like nothing is changing. But here's the kicker. Once you begin, once you take that first step, everything shifts. You break the inertia. You start to realize that action doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't even have to be anything extraordinary. What matters is that you're moving. And that movement creates more movement. The key is consistency, not intensity. Small steps taken consistently are far more powerful than sporadic bursts of energy that burn out quickly. Every time you act, no matter how small the task, you rewire your brain. You prove to yourself that you're capable. And when you consistently prove to yourself that you can do something, you start to believe that you can do more. Over time, those small steps add up, and before you know it, you've made more progress than you ever thought possible. Think about it. What's the one thing you've been putting off because it felt too big, too overwhelming? That one task that's been looming over you like a mountain too high to climb. What if you broke it down? What if you took just 5 minutes today to make a start? You'd be amazed at how powerful those 5 minutes can be. And the next day, you take another 5 minutes. And the day after that, maybe you push it to 10. Slowly, that mountain becomes a series of small hills, each one more manageable than the last. This is how progress happens. It's not through grand gestures or massive leaps of faith. It's through action. Action that compounds over time. But it starts with the smallest of actions, the willingness to start, to show up, to say, I'm going to do something today no matter how small because I know that it matters. Every time you delay action, every time you give in to the voice that tells you to wait, you're telling yourself that your dreams don't matter enough. You're telling yourself that comfort is more important than the life you want to create. And I know that's not the truth. Your ambition is far stronger than your need for temporary comfort. Deep down, you know that. But it's easy to forget when the pressure to act feels overwhelming. That's why breaking things down into small, achievable actions is so powerful. It doesn't give your brain the chance to talk you out of it. It doesn't let you fall back into the trap of, I'll do it tomorrow. Here's a little secret. Your ambition doesn't have to be a loud, roaring fire. It can start as a quiet spark. And that spark, when nurtured, can grow into a fire that drives you forward day after day. All you have to do is feed it. Feed it with action. Feed it with small wins. The more you feed it, the more it grows, and the less room there is for laziness to creep in. You won't have to force yourself to be motivated, because motivation will find you. It will show up in the small victories you achieve every single day. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for inspiration to strike. The moment is now. The best time to act is always the moment you decide to start. There's no magic formula for success. There's no hidden secret that you're missing. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to take action. So take that first step today. Just one. Make it small, make it simple, but make it meaningful. Because the smallest step today is the giant leap tomorrow. You've got this. There's something incredibly powerful that happens when you connect deeply to your why. Your ambition becomes more than just a fleeting desire. It becomes a force that drives you forward even when things feel tough. Without this connection to purpose, your goals will always feel like a distant dream, something that can be put off until later. But when you understand why you want to achieve them, your ambition transforms from something vague and abstract into a concrete source of unstoppable energy. Have you ever had one of those moments when you felt completely on fire, unstoppable, as if nothing could get in your way? That's what happens when your actions are aligned with your true purpose. The problem for many people is that they chase goals without understanding why they matter. They focus on the what, the success, the wealth, the achievement, but they don't focus on the why. Without a strong emotional reason behind your actions, it's easy to fall off course, to lose steam, and to drift back into laziness when the going gets tough. When you connect to your deeper why, everything changes. The reason you want something becomes the fuel that keeps the fire burning when you're exhausted or tempted to quit. Think about the last time you achieved something meaningful. What made it worthwhile? Was it the praise you received, the recognition, or was it the feeling of accomplishment, of knowing that you did it for a reason that mattered to you? Your why is the heart of your ambition. It's the emotional reason behind everything you do. When that reason is clear and powerful, laziness loses its grip on you. You stop seeing the hard work as a burden and start seeing it as an opportunity to get closer to the life you've always dreamed of. But here's the challenge. Most people don't take the time to define their why. They get caught up in the external markers of success, money, status, approval from others, and forget to tap into the internal reasons that really drive them. They forget that real motivation doesn't come from what others think of them. It comes from the deep internal pull that propels them towards something bigger, something meaningful. If you can get clear on your why, you'll have the clarity and the power to push through any moment of weakness. This doesn't mean your why has to be some grand world-changing mission. It doesn't mean you have to have some earth-shattering purpose. Your why can be simple, personal, and deeply meaningful to you. Maybe it's providing a better life for your family. Maybe it's proving to yourself that you can achieve something you've always dreamed of. Whatever it is, it's personal. But it's also what will keep you moving forward when the world around you tells you to stop. When your own doubts start whispering that it's too hard, too much, or that you're not capable. When you tap into that why, laziness doesn't stand a chance. Why? Because laziness thrives when there's no connection to a higher purpose. It feeds off the confusion and lack of direction. But when you know exactly why you're doing something, laziness becomes irrelevant. Your ambition becomes the driving force. And every action you take feels like it's leading you towards something meaningful. And this is where the magic happens. When your work feels aligned with your purpose, every step you take is energized. You stop dreading the grind because it's no longer a grind. It's a path towards something bigger than yourself. Think about it. When you're connected to your purpose, every task becomes easier. The early mornings, the late nights, the obstacles, all of them start to feel worth it because you know that they're moving you closer to something that truly matters. And here's the truth. It's not about the end result. It's about the person you become in the process.
Yes,
the challenges you overcome. The growth that happens when you're doing something that matters, something that pushes you to be better. Without a why, the road to success feels aimless, and it's easy to fall off track. But when you find a purpose that truly moves you, the road becomes clear. Every decision, every action, even every setback starts to make sense. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. And that journey, when guided by a powerful purpose, is what will give you the strength to rise above laziness. The next time you feel that pull to give in to comfort, to procrastinate, to put things off until tomorrow, remember your why. Remember the reason you're doing this. Remember the bigger picture, the life you want to create and the impact you want to make. Let that drive you forward even when it feels hard. Because when your why is clear, laziness is no longer an option. You'll rise above it, and every step will take you closer to the life you've always wanted. Your ambition is powerful, but your purpose is what gives it wings. Find your why and let it guide you. Let it push you through the tough days and fuel your fire on the easy days. Because when you have a reason that's bigger than yourself, there's nothing that can stop you. Now that you've connected to your why, now that you've defined the deeper reason behind your ambition, the next step is to take ownership of your time. Time is the most valuable asset you have, and yet it's the one thing most people squander without even realizing it. Every moment you waste is a moment you can never get back. And when you let laziness steal your time, you're not just losing today, you're losing the future that could have been. Think about how much time you spend every day distracted. How many hours slip away on things that don't move you closer to your goals? The truth is, it's easy to waste time. We live in a world full of distractions, where it's easier to scroll through social media or binge watch the latest show than it is to sit down and do the work that will actually change your life. But here's the thing. Every minute spent in distraction is a minute you could have used to build the life you want. You have the power to decide how you spend your time. Every hour, every minute is a choice. And the truth is, the more intentional you are with your time, the less room there is for laziness to take hold. Laziness thrives in the empty spaces of your day. It thrives when you have no clear direction, no clear boundaries. But when you take control of your time, when you set aside moments specifically for action, laziness has no place in your life. Take a moment right now and reflect. What does your daily routine look like? Are you spending your time on things that align with your goals? Or are you wasting precious hours on activities that don't get you any closer to where you want to be? If you're honest with yourself, you know the answer. Time is the one thing that once it's gone, you can never get back. But the beautiful part is, right now you have the chance to change the way you use it. Start by eliminating the distraction. Look at your day and identify the areas where you're wasting time, whether it's scrolling aimlessly, watching TV for hours, or even just staying in bed a little longer than you should. Replace that wasted time with purpose. Replace those moments of laziness with small, focused actions that push you closer to your goals. When you do this, something incredible happens. Your brain begins to associate action with reward. The more you take control of your time and your actions, the more your mind starts to crave productivity. You stop seeing work as a burden, and instead it becomes a source of satisfaction. But it doesn't end with just eliminating distractions. It's also about creating routines that support your ambition. Routines are powerful because they remove the need for constant decision-making. When you have a set structure for your day, your brain doesn't have to waste energy deciding whether or not you'll work. You've already decided. The decision is made for you. And when you have a routine that prioritizes your goals, it becomes so much easier to stay on track, even when laziness tries to creep in. A morning routine, for example, can set the tone for your entire day. If you wake up with intention, if you spend the first moments of your day focusing on something that pushes you toward your goals, whether it's writing, reading, exercising, or planning your day, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment right from the start. This sense of accomplishment feeds into your motivation, creating a positive feedback loop. And when you start your day with purpose, it's much easier to continue that momentum throughout the rest of the day. Similarly, your evening routine plays a crucial role. How you wind down can either set you up for success or keep you trapped in a cycle of wasted time. If you end your day with distractions or mindless activities, you're more likely to wake up feeling unmotivated and sluggish. But if you end your day by reflecting on what you accomplished, setting your intentions for tomorrow, and preparing yourself mentally for the next day's challenges, you'll wake up ready to tackle whatever comes your way. The truth is, the more you align your time with your goals, the less room there is for laziness to creep in. Laziness thrives when there's no structure, no purpose. But when you create a day that is intentionally designed to move you forward, you create a powerful sense of accountability, not just to others, but to yourself. And when you hold yourself accountable for your time, laziness no longer has the power to control you. Time is your most precious resource. It's the one thing that no amount of money, no success, no achievement can replace. Once it's gone, it's gone. And the most successful people in the world understand this. They don't waste time. They take ownership of their time and use it to fuel their ambition.